It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, Adam. So my friend says there is no car in the world that looks good in canary yellow. I say the Lamborghini, and that's it. What say you, brother? Peace out.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
I'm with him in that I don't like canary yellow for cars, and no, I don't even think the Lamborghini looks that great in canary yellow.
What about the old Corvette with the white panels on the side? Maybe you can
No, they didn't make
62, wasn't it?
They didn't make any of those in canary yellow. All right, but I don't think.
I feel like that's in my head. Maybe I saw somebody's like.
I'll tell you what's in your head, man.
What's that?
Pylons.
No,
okay. No, there's two cars that work in canary yellow, in my estimation, and nothing more. It's a, let's see, 69, 70 Ferrari Daytona convertible and a Dino Ferrari. Dino Ferraris look okay in canary yellow, and there's quite a few canary yellow Daytonas and quite a few canary yellows, yellow Dinos. Those two look okay. Everything else, no.
There's one more. A taxi.
A taxi looks good as well. Now, there's a non-canary yellow Boss Mustang that's in like school bus yellow, they call it or whatever, but it's really orange. But I got in a big argument with a guy once. So I said, that Boss Mustang is orange. And I said, it's yellow. And then the name of it is School Bus Yellow. But it's orange. But anyway, don't get me started. All right. Man, we'd found out that Hulk Hogan was gone and Ozzy Osbourne. And I guess these guys, Brian Wilson. Now, this has to happen to everyone who gets old. People that are a little older die. But in the past, the people weren't ubiquitous parts of our lives.
Yeah.
Like Hulk Hogan has been a part of your life since you were born.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you didn't know. You've never
I don't know a world without the Hulkster.
You don't know that world.
No.
And you don't know a world without Ozzy Osbourne in it, right? So that then becomes weird because you've never even, like, these people are just ubiquitous types that are supposed to always be around, and they're just gone.
Yeah.
And we're going to be, there's going to be a version where it's like, well, I mean, we can do the math on everyone's going at some point, but I'm just saying we're going to have to sit here and live in this world where you go, there's no more David Letterman. There's no more anyone you grew up with.
On a long enough timeline, the survival rate is 0.
That is correct. All right. So sad, but to be expected, I would say. All right. What do you got? What do you got in the... and by the way, these guys, I mean, take a guy like Hulk Hogan. He got a lot of living in.
He did. I know, man. I'm like sad to see him go, but I know that he had the glory, and he had the glorious lifestyle. It was one of my personal heroes when I was a child. So, he inspired so many and made such an impact on the world that I'll forgive all of his scandals.
I had a thought, I had a weird thought, but I think it's an accurate thought. The other week, I came here in the morning and I did a podcast, and I left directly from here to a private airport, and I got on a private jet.
Baller.
Yeah. And I flew to Chicago. And I got out of the jet. By the time I got out of the jet, it was, 7:30 at night or whatever. And I went directly to a comedy club with my luggage.
Badass.
Yeah, I know. And I changed backstage in the green room. And I went out at 9 and I did an hour, 10 minutes or whatever. And then signed autographs, sold books, and then got into a car and drove to Wisconsin and to Elkhart Lake and stayed in Airbnb. And then the following morning, well, not really the morning. I didn't go to bed till like 3, but then I got up the following day and I had a run group practice at the track in my run group at, 3 in the afternoon. Did the run group.
Just road warrior right now.
That night, Thursday night, did a sold-out show at the track.
Yeah.
With a venue in the track. Stayed behind, sold books, got up the next morning, Friday, went and did the morning session, the afternoon practice session, qualifying, then got out of the car and was Grand Marshal of the parade. Led the parade all the way into Elkhart Lake, the city, from the track, 500 cars, me leading in some guy's race car, 30,000 people, got up on the podium, gave a speech. Next day, Saturday, got back up, got in the car, did the qualifying, did the showed a screening of the 24-Hour War, my Ford v Ferrari doc that made before that movie. I always have to say that. Trained that, signed autographs, everything. Went back to the Airbnb. Next day, got up, checked out of the Airbnb, took all the luggage, went to the track, drove the feature race at 3 in the afternoon, got out of the car, changed in my street clothes. Mike August picked me up. We drove to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, played the Pabst Theater Sunday night. Rudy, my opener, picked me up in the lobby of the airport on Monday at 7 a.m., took me to the airport, 2 flights, back to L.A.
Man, what you doing right now? Brag planing?
No. What I am doing is, as I was sitting on the flight flying back, I thought to myself, I think I officially have done more in the last 4.5 to 5 days than I think my dad did in his life.
That's what I was going to ask
That's
you.
what I was thinking.
What separated you from sitting on the couch with the trumpet?
I don't know, but I thought, I think this is more. Now, I don't know how you quantify it, but I think this is more.
That was a busy weekend.
I think this is more than he's done in his entire life. And I thought, that's weird, because I knocked that shit out in 4.5 days. But, I like comedy. I like racing cars. I don't have a problem with it, but it did add up.
He just took a different path. You know what I'm saying? Look here. My dad was a war fighter, but he had a bad fight with a kid that went on to the Olympics, and he quit boxing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He had a bad fight and said, all right, I'm done with this. And I went the other way. I had bad fights and just kept going.
Was he a light heavyweight?
Yeah.
Oh, man. See? Well, you learn. You can learn from their mistakes as well. All right, sorry. What do we got?
Oh, the news. Yeah, we're doing the news. Well, look. First up, billionaire Tyler Perry fired his aunt and financially cut off his family members, saying he's not welfare. He also, I looked into the story. Man, he's very tough on his kids. Makes them work for their money, and he has a similar take to you, I think, on this whole deal.
Well, he grew up kind of hard scrabble.
Yeah,
and poor and everything. And now he makes horrible movies, but he gets paid.
And he worth $1.4 billion, according to Forbes.
And here's what I would say to anyone listening. It takes just as much effort to make a really shitty movie as it does to make a really good movie. So he's working hard out there. And I like it.
Yeah, he sort of made it like Black Hollywood out there in Atlanta.
It's got to be a weird one, though, where it's like you got all these family members and they're all poor and they're all just coming around.
For sure.
And it's really, Sofia Coppola doesn't have this problem. But Tyler Perry does, because he doesn't come from where she comes from. Her dad doesn't own a vineyard. You know what I mean? So that's got it. Listen, here's the bummer. Here's the bummer about that, because I've experienced it on a smaller scale, much smaller scale. It's never. There's a no-win proposition. You never really get paid back. You never get thanked. The people get angry. You do tons of shit for people.
You're like paying it karmically or something. You know what I mean? Like, being a father or stepdad is like a no-win situation. You're like putting in all this effort. Will you get any back? Will you get, will Sonny one day, like, you know what I mean? I don't know, push you around in the wheelchair. You know what I'm saying?
Like, push me off that cruise ship like they did to that Jewish passenger back in the day. That's what they're going to do.
Heist you straight over the railing.
No, listen, there's lots of conversations about, like, well, they need to get them like an apartment building so they can be set up, so they can have, and I'm like, or they can get a job. There's always a possibility of getting, there's always a possibility of working and shit. I don't know when this shit, like, first off, this kid's had $150,000 for college, and stuff like that. It doesn't end, and it's weird when you get divorced, because when you get divorced, they keep saying, "But what are you gonna? What about them? What about them? What about the kids? What about the kids?" I go, "What do you mean? What about the kids? They can work. You can get a fucking job. You can do. I don't know. Do what Tyler Perry did."
See, but you're in the position of like, everyone assuming that you're gonna be a job creator for your family too. You get what I'm saying?
I got my daughter's working for Kimmel,
Yeah, there you go. You hooked her up with the job. So you know what I mean? You did help. What?
Jimmy sent me you can look it up. I was at the track on Saturday. I didn't even bother telling him I was at the track because no one could be further away from the track than Jimmy. But he just sent me a text on Saturday when I was at the track of a professional tennis player's website or Twitter or whatever, but the guy's name is Jack Sock. And he was like, he's a professional tennis player and his name is Jack Sock. And Jimmy's like,
ironically, my Jack Sock is from tennis. Yeah.
Really?
He has a tennis sock, yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's
Smart.
red band, three red bands on around the top. It's an Adidas one, actually.
Smart.
Padded.
I like the one with the little balls on the back that the girls would wear. But, Jack Sock is a professional tennis player. and that's all Jimmy said.
Juvenile.
Jimmy just said, I think you should know this. And he just sent me this thing. And then I sent back a thing to him that said, well, now Jimmy labeled me in the looks department. He said I look like Pete Sampras with Down syndrome. That was 25 years ago, but he said that's essentially what you look like if Pete Sampras had Down syndrome. And then I think he may have forgotten about it or something. Then I wrote him back and I said, well, this guy's a professional. So I said, as a professional Pete Sampras with Down syndrome impersonator, I can tell you that I know this Jack Sock guy. And then he wrote back, oh, man, I give the worst nicknames. But that's how guys think.
Yeah.
It was important. He's probably out of the country, but it was important to him that I know there's a guy named Jack Sock.
You know what? That's a good bro.
And priorities through the roof, right?
Definitely. Look, here's a fun one. Lion ex-rep George Santos admits his chin is fake as he shares the biggest fear about prison ahead of his 87-month sentence.
That is a weird one. I didn't.
87 months he's about to do.
I didn't know there were fake chins, but then I started.
Fake chins, fake. He's saying that it will migrate, and his chin implant he had it for elongation purposes. He says, I have it in my face. I think at this point, like 30% filler. The migration is a real bitch, so if you got to compensate all the time. He's talking about pumping stuff into his face.
I think my grandmother had a fake chin.
Really?
I do.
She lost it from chewing tobacco?
She was in the joint for a while, and it may have migrated. She shit it out. She told me that. No, I don't. I never asked, but my grandmother had a really pointy chin.
Here he
and
is,
my mom had a real soft chin.
In middle school. No. There's a current picture.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. It looks all right. I would have known it, but I do think my grandmother had a fake chin.
For what reason? You mean like, what? Come on, man. You can't just leave it at that. Elaborate.
My grandmother, I think
because right now I'm imagining like one of those crude World War II implements that the guys
hers looked a little more like a witchy poo kind of. It didn't.
She had a butt chin at the bottom.
It must have been from the 50s or something. I don't know. I gotta ask somebody. I don't know. It was weird. My mom has a sort of soft. My mom is very soft face and not that way at all. Yeah. So I don't know where that Helen Gorog's like pointy chin came from. I think it was fake. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
she would have been a pioneer of the chin implant.
I was gonna say,
were they doing chin implants in the
chin
60s? Chin plant. Anyway, she had some sort of weird aesthetic. It didn't work out.
Yeah, Santos lied his ass off and got 87 months. Now his Botox is going to wear off and his face is going to melt. It's going to be pretty interesting seeing him rubbing into.
Well, he just turned out to be funny and sociopathic, right?
Well, it's just pretty wacky. The guy's list of accomplishments is pretty inflated because he just said that he was a volleyball champion, and that wasn't true. He said he was Jewish. And they're like, wait a minute, that's not true. He has such a long list of bizarre lies that it's amazing that he was out as long as he was.
Yeah, well,
the serial bloviator, just make up anything, yeah, he said he was openly gay. He panned his former wife, Adla, as clueless during the wide-ranging chat.
Here's what
because he was married to a lady for a while and then shaved his beard.
Here's what I'm thinking. You might as well just lie about everything these days.
Yeah, I know.
What good is it? I'm constantly correcting people and saying, no, that's not how it happened. No, that's not what it was.
It's a post-truth world.
And I just realized, just fucking lie. Look, I'm a fool for trying to be accurate with people. And also, I also realize people just say stupid stuff all day and doesn't even make sense anymore. And they have their theories and ideas. And I guess what I'm saying is we should just lie. Let's lie.
Constantly?
I don't know what's in it to tell the truth or even to be accurate.
No
anymore. It doesn't really matter. And there's just, it's weird because I thought the computer was going to fix this, like I thought Ring doorbells were going to solve crime, and it turns out the opposite. I thought the day they put a camera up in a 7-Eleven, that'd be the last day that 7-Eleven ever got robbed because there's a camera. I was sorely mistaken. Yeah. We have more robberies now.
Great footage now. A lot of new Crime Watch shows.
It's basically like saying, what's going to solve any sexual harassment lawsuits in the office place? A seminar that we have on day one. And it's like, oh, that just reminds people to sue people for shit. We now have many more lawsuits about sexual harassment in the workplace. Since if you looked at some sort of graph,
data
chart,
is beautiful. I have that all the time.
You looked at a graph that said sexual lawsuits, filings, legal filings, when we had the talk, when we had to have the mandatory sexual harassment meeting for insurance and whatever, and then at post, when we started that, like 1989, the graph would just go through the fucking roof because it's like we're a society who sees the camera and goes, oh yeah, I should rob this place. Like we literally get reminded to do shit. So chin implants have been available for over 50 years, making them the oldest form of alloplastic facial augmentation. So this is like the old school ones. I don't get the butt implants.
I mean, I get them. If you know what I mean.
I know you get them, but I don't. All right, anyway. All right, next story. What's next?
Next up, look, it's a cute little video about the rough truth of your pet's impact on the planet. Yeah, I looked into this. It's really the carbon footprint of a Great Dane is enormous.
Really?
Yes. The food has to be made in these giant factories that burn a bunch of power up, and you got to kill so many animals and release so much carbon in the air that having your pet is like having a diesel truck.
Really?
Yeah. I bet they say
what
it's
if
comparable.
you are Asian and able to ride your Great Dane and thus not drive your car as often.
Well, I mean, you can ride it, and then when it gets old enough, eat it.
Yeah. So it basically turns out everything in life that we like is shitty on the environment. You know what I mean? Like what's great? I love a big fat Labrador. Bad for the environment. What do you like? Man, I want 7,000 square feet and lots of air conditioning. Well, that's bad. What do you want to drive? I want to drive a Denali with custom rims and leather interior. Good. Well, I like to go on cruise ships. I like to go out for a steak. It's like every single thing that's good is bad.
I know.
That's what I've. That's
Labradoodle
what I've learned.
is killing polar bears.
So what do they figure out? It's the food. It's the waste.
Yeah, there is. I don't know. Instead of video.
Let's put it this way. There's a video.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh,
yeah.
we'll watch the vid. Sorry, you slide up on the screen.
It's a 3-minute news story.
Oh,
Well,
watch it.
video.
Well, it's a video on a news story. Let's watch it.
Family members to so many of us. Pets are like family members to so many of us, but they're also quietly leaving behind massive carbon footprints. Or should we say, paw prints?
It's probably more than we think. A big part of it is like picking up the dog waste.
According to a 2022 study, all that dog poop goes into approximately 3/4 to 1.2 million tons of global dog poop bags disposed
Hold on a
of.
second.
Yeah. No, can I say this?
I don't like the word poop that much, but but also you just had the doctor say waste. So you've set the table with waste. Now just follow it up with the VO and go, dog waste. You're not going to be confused.
And I'll be like behind you with the xylophone.
You had an expert tell you it was waste. Why do we have to go back to poop? But okay, so poop, you got to pick up all the poop.
Disposed of annually. You could fill the Empire State Building every year with all that poop.
Now don't show the poop. The dog sniffing it?
It doesn't just break down. It's not like we're properly composting.
Hold on.
it.
You understand, most of the people who I argue with in my life, if they had a dog, they'd go, okay, who? So you're saying that I'm trying to fill the Empire State Building with dog poop? Like that would be the argument from most of the people I know.
Yeah.
That's just so you know. That's who I argue with. Okay. I said to Mike August, this will make Dawson laugh. He goes, well, they fired that Colbert because he had a problem with Trump. I said, well, but the show was losing money. Nah, it wasn't losing money. I go, I heard it was losing money. Where'd you hear that? This is, by the way, when I told him a year ago Trump was ahead in the polls a year ago. He's like, no, he's not. I go, well, that's what the polls say. Where'd you hear those polls? I go, just the polls, Mike, whatever the polls are. Yeah, I don't believe it. Well, he's making up polls? I go, no, Mike, they're polls, and he's leading in the polls. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, right. What polls? The presidential polls. He's leading it. So I don't know. Okay, that's all I'm telling you. So he goes, $40 million. Get the hell out of here. I go, I don't know. That's what I heard. Where'd you hear that? I go, I don't know, everywhere. That's all I hear. Yeah, right. Who's saying that? Fox or whatever? I go, I don't know. That just seems to be the answer. I don't know. Nah, that's bullshit. It's making money. They're scared of Trump. So I go, I don't know. That's what I read. I just read in all things that it's like losing like $40 million a year. He goes, if it loses $40 million a year, do you think they would have canceled it 10 years ago? I go, yeah, Mike, I'm saying now. I don't say it's always no one ever said it's lost $40 million every year since the day of conception. They're saying advertisers and ratings have sloughed off, and now it's losing money. No, 5 years ago it was making. I'm not. By the way, do you think that's what I'm saying? Answer is who knows. We're having an argument. So those are who I argue with, by the way. But yes, that's what I'm saying. It's lost $40 million since day one. And they just kept it on for a decade as a loss leader. All right. So they're not putting poop inside that. All right. Let it out to the dog.
Alone, dogs and cats are responsible for an estimated 64 million tons of CO2 each year, according to a 2017 UCLA study, most of it tied to what's in their food bowl, an issue that eco-minded companies are now trying to figure out.
Human-grade pet food is problematic.
It's a dog food commercial.
It's kind of obvious because it tends to have more meat. Chilled pet foods, they're going to be much more costly environmentally and otherwise to package and transport.
Turns out one of the most climate...
All right, stop for a second.
Get fresh pets.
Did he say human-made?
Yeah, human grade.
Human grade.
Yeah, he's saying
pet
that like
food.
having good quality dog food is
Right.
better for the environment than.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah, because like I said, the carbon footprint of those factories that make the dry food is significantly higher than just chopping up a cow.
All right, all right.
Is actually the most familiar, dry kibble with low meat content. With new technology and research, that kibble can now be made with a better source of protein, insects.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I think he's saying the opposite. I think he's saying the human grade dog food uses up more, is worse, and the kibble's better because now the kibble can be made with grubs.
Yeah. Oh, now you mean? I'm
I
talking
don't know.
about the
Go
current
back.
paradigm.
I just want to hear what he had to
Yeah.
say one more time. Sorry, I may be dyslexic here. All right, this guy. All right, here we go.
Human-grade pet food is problematic from an environmental perspective. I mean, it's kind of obvious because it tends to have more meat. Chilled pet food.
So
I
this
didn't
is-
understand.
This is now sound like Mike August.
I know.
I'm like, what?
Otherwise, to
But
package
now we're
and
going to make it with
transport.
insects.
Turns out one of the most climate-friendly options is actually the most familiar, dry kibble with low meat content. With new technology and research, that kibble can now be made with a better source of protein, insects. Now that I have your attention, we're not talking about just any insects. It's not like they're pulling ants or cockroaches off the street. These food companies are using very specific insects.
I mean, your first thought is like,
Hold on,
ew.
pause it there for a second. What is this reporter's name? And is she the one who got dispatched at Daytona? Randy Kay. Was this the bitch from CNN that got dispatched at Daytona Beach during COVID to report back into Anderson Cooper going, there's people laying on the ground, they're not socially distanced. Look, this couple's walking, they're holding hands. Is that the same nutty bitch? Because I want her old ass fired. Because somehow she reminds me of that fucking shrew cow who was reporting back to disgusted Anderson Cooper, who couldn't believe that Americans were let on the beach during COVID, and then showed B-roll of people walking alone on the beach, which is exactly the safest place and thing you do. You run this, you can look for that.
Insects. It's not like they're pulling ants or cockroaches off the street. These food companies are using very specific insects.
I mean, your first thought is like, ew. But at the same time, insects
Dogs eat
provide
anything.
a really solid source of protein.
Yeah.
They would tolerate it actually very well. Just like it's well tolerated by human beings. It's just the idea of getting over the idea of where it comes from.
Several pet food companies are using insects. One of these companies, Yora, says the insects they use take up only a fraction of the land needed to raise cows or chickens.
Amount of water used, for instance. So we use 5,000 litres of water to produce 10 kilos of insect protein, whereas you'd need 1.1 million litres of water to produce the same amount of beef.
Switching to
All right,
insect-based...
hold on. I got it. But let me tell you something from Slippery Slope Guy. Let me tell you what this is about.
All right.
It's not about the dogs, not about the foods, not about the protein. It's the transition into our Soylent Green economy. They're
Great
talking
training.
about green economies. They don't mean green. They mean Soylent Green.
That's right.
You understand? What happens now is you start feeding the pets the insects.
It
And
gets you used to
then
it.
they go, hey, not too bad. And they go, oh, Rusty's never been in better shape. And they go, see, insects are pretty good for you. And you know what? We have about the same metabolism and innards as the dog, you know. What's wrong?
Hey,
the next thing you know, we're eating grubs ourselves. Then Rusty dies eventually, and they go, you know what? The carbon footprint of having to bury all these dogs and cremate, why don't you eat Rusty? Rusty, he just ate grubs. You're eating grubs. Now Rusty's dead. You should eat Rusty and not impact the thing. And then you die. And they go, well, you don't want to have him cremated or embalmed or anything. And it's a big environmental impact, burying all these people everywhere. What if we started eating Nana instead? Now we're in full Soylent Green. They're starting with the cows and the methane. Now we're going to the grubs. Now the dogs eat the grubs. Then we eat the grubs. Then we eat Nana. You understand? It goes from cows bad, grubs good, Rusty eats grubs, Rusty dies, we eat Rusty, we eat grubs, we eat each other. It's all spelled out in the movie Soylent Green. You understand? And when they say soil and they mean green movement, they really mean Soylent Green. Mm-hmm. Understand?
I got it.
Understand? And this is going to fucking thank Bill Gates for all of this. This is where we're going. Understood?
I got it.
Was that Charlton Heston?
I believe so, yes.
It was Charlton Heston, and it was like
Soylent Green is people.
Yeah. It was Charlton Heston and Edward G. Robinson. I swear to God. The gangster movies from the 30s and 40s. I swear to God it was him and them. But they foretold this whole Soylent Green movement. That's where we're going.
I mean, I'd like to be part of the Soylent Green movement.
Oh, you will.
That was Edward G. Robinson's final film role.
Yes, that's his final film role.
They ate him after that.
All right, I've seen enough. I've already laid it out, everybody.
I'll be enjoying an Adam Carolla protein bar made of real Adam Carolla.
Yeah. All right. You can go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows. I think we're supposed to have... I'm laughing. I do believe there's a show that I'm doing in Portland.
All right.
That should be on that screen, but
the venue's changing.
The venue changed, right? It has changed.
I never got an update.
My last conversation with Mike August was, got to push that Portland show, or at the Portland, whatever. He said, look on the website. I don't know. Let's see. Hold on a second. It's all this is what happens. But I blame Mike.
Portland, Oregon. He's coming to town.
Yeah, it's at what comedy club on our website that I think we put up, or I was told we put it up.
Helium.
All right.
Okay. It's on our website, right?
AdamCarolla.com.
Yes.
Okay. There's a part of this where I say to Mike every single week, you somehow got to get this stuff, and he'll go, it's up on the site, and I'll go, okay, but it's not good enough. All right, so Helium, I don't know the dates or anything.
Portland, Oregon, at Helium on August 7th. August 7th.
All right, so until then, you go to amcroll.com for that. Elaine Colati and Mayhem saying mahalo.